Avengers! Assemble.
Hey everyone, hope I didn't scare too many of you guys with that intro. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed that little scare that I may or may not have given you. I know some of you guys might have jumped out of your chairs. Other of you guys might not even have had a reaction. But I thought it'd be a funny little thing to do, considering it is Halloween. So yeah, again, happy Halloween, guys. Today we're back with some more Marvel Feature Fight content. And today we're doing a pretty interesting video. Something I haven't done before, but I thought, why not? Let's do this. I got the time to make it, so let's go ahead. We're going to be ranking the top 15 scariest characters in Marvel Feature Fight, depending on not just their base look, but also their uniforms, and on how big of a scary level are they for this Halloween. So yeah, we're going to dive right in today's video. Like I said, it's something we don't really usually do. It's something new, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And again, have a great Halloween, whether you celebrate it or not. If you don't, then have a good day still regardless. And if you do, I hope it's one of the best Halloweens you've ever had. So yeah, let's dive straight on in to today's video. So let me pull up my list here. We have the top 15 scariest. Starting off the bat is going to be Black Bolt. So Black Bolt's Halloween uniform that he got last year, which I recently just picked up, is pretty menacing looking. And this is just the start of the list. The rest of the list, guys, and even with Black Bolt, if I'm walking alone at night and they are following behind me, I would not want to be in that sort of situation, because any one of these characters are hunting you down and giving you the biggest scare of your life. And obviously that's starting with Black Bolt. I mean, look how menacing those yellow eyes are, and then with the bolt in the middle too. The mask that's like covering his entire mouth. Yeah, no thanks. Would not want to be being trailed by this guy. But the next person in line is even more of a threat if they're trailing me, and I would definitely not want this guy on my tail, and that is Hulk. He has some pretty menacing looks here, in most importantly, the Immortal Hulk version. Yeah, this uniform was pretty scary looking, down to the black nails, the green eyes that are glowing, the Joker-like smile, which caught me off guard when this uniform first came out. And not to mention, he's probably the bulkiest looking Hulk of most of his uniforms. Obviously, we have some menacing looks, again, with like the Fear itself as well. Yeah, wow, okay. And then with like the War of Wars and the Thor Ragnarok version, of course. But yeah, I think his Immortal Hulk definitely stands out the most and is definitely the most menacing looking. So that's why he's going to be 14th here on today's list. Next up, we have Morbius at 13th. You know, I wasn't going to leave out Morbius. He is a vampire, so of course he's going to be in this. He's lower down the list because he's not too scary. Honestly, you could argue that Hulk's above him. The only reason why I have Morbius above him is because I wanted to keep some Morbius fans happy, and plus he does have a sort of scary Halloween more vibe to him, where Hulk is a hero technically. He just on accident is very menacing and scary looking. But yeah, we're definitely going to put Morbius here as the 13th spot. And this skill right here, this tier 3 animation definitely shows it there for sure. Next up, we got Nightcrawler at 12. He's not the scariest, but he definitely has a menacing look. And just this uniform alone, the way he stares at you makes you just want to look away. It's kind of hard to stare at him in the eyes like that when he's looking at you, because he's pretty menacing. Well, now, whether in the movies or not, he's a goofball. You guys admit, most of his looks here are pretty scary and menacing looking. The first two, not as much as this last one, but he's definitely one of the scarier Marvel Feature Fight characters. I think if they gave him like a smile or something, or a grin, he'd be even scarier and definitely a lot higher on this list. Now, next at number 11 is going to go ahead and be Hellstorm. Now, he is like living hell, but he's not the only sort of devil on this list, so that's why he's lower down here. But he's definitely a menace. I mean, he's literally got lightning coming out of his eyes with a fiery trident. I mean, how are you even escaping this man? If he's chasing you, you're screwed. There's no way you're getting away from him. He's just an absolute menace overall, and there's not even much to his look. He literally just has red pants and a giant trident that's on fire, and that's basically enough to make him pretty scary. Then next up on the list is a character I actually still don't own, which is going to be Sabertooth, one of the few characters that may or may not have given you a jump scare there at the beginning of the video. But this man is Wolverine, but times 10 on the scary factor. I mean, he is so menacing looking. He literally looks like a wolf. He looks like a hound getting ready to just chase you. This look is not as scary, of course, but this one, they really brought it back, and they gave it a whole nother hunter vibe, type vibe here, and it makes it so much worse. He's even got a skull on his belt here. Yeah, they really brought back the scary factor with this uniform. They kind of scaled it down with this one, and they said, you know what, let's turn that right back up here. And that's exactly what they went ahead and did. So then next up here in the 9th place spot is going to be ManThing. Of course, an absolute tank, and not only a swamp monster. I mean, what are you doing with this guy? If you're in his natural habitats in the swamps, you are screwed. He's moving so quickly, and he is so big that he can crush you with the step of his foot. I mean, look at this thing. He is incredibly scary. Again, he's a hero, so that's probably why he's not up on this list. I am taking into account their history just a little bit in this list. So, of course, he is going to be a very menacing character. But because he's a hero, it takes away a little bit from that factor. But then again, you could easily mistake him for a villain there, 100%. So let me scroll up here on our list. Next up, we have in 8th place is Molten Man. And if you don't remember this guy, he is from Spider-Man Far From Home. And, I mean, look at that face. Again, sticking to the sort of big, bulky tanks here on the list. It's kind of funny how they're all sort of in the same spot, but he's literally pouring lava from his skin, and his mouth is just gushing open with more lava building up into it, not to mention all the poles and pipes and metal bars just sticking out of his skin. Yeah, I honestly just feel bad if I'm this guy. He is not he is not getting invited to any Halloween parties, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, that is definitely why he's up there at number 8. The next up, of course, a more recent Halloween sort of character and scary character is Werewolf, also known as Werewolf, obviously from the Disney Plus show, if you have not seen that. He did not get a uniform for that show. However, he's still very scary looking. Obviously, it's like Sabertooth, but actually seeing a wolf staring right at you. They even have the jaw animation from when he's breathing out, getting ready to pound on you. So, yeah, that's definitely a menacing character right there, and that's why he's going to fall in number 7. Now, the next character is probably surprising that he's this low, but it's just there's so many scary looking or creepy looking characters in MFF that I had to put him here, and that's going to be Mephisto. Of course, the main man who was chuckling at you at the beginning of the video, the devil himself, and that's why Hellstorm is sort of lower down on the list, because I wanted to leave a little bit of a gap between the two of them. But yeah, that's why Mephisto here comes in at number 6. I mean, is there much to be said, guys? I mean, look at that face. Like, there's nothing to be said other than he's a menace. And even when he transforms into his bigger looks here, it just makes it 10 times worse once he gets to be 2 times the size of pretty much all of your characters. I mean, no one's sizing up to this man once you're fighting him at all. Now I just got to find him. There he is. Because he is just way too big. And even this isn't the biggest he gets, obviously. This would be the biggest form you see. And yeah, I mean, not much to be said, guys. You're dead if you see this man. You're gone. He is not a person that's easily escapable whatsoever. Let's be completely honest here. All right, so next up at number 5 is a Spider-Man foe. Of course, you know he was going to be on this list is Green Goblin, and especially his newest uniform. I mean, he's got the Halloween vibe all over him. He's literally got orange coming out of his face and smile, and then of course his little machine that he's riding on here. I don't know why I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, he is a menace nonetheless, and a lot of his skills involve him pulling out his axes and some symbiote, because of course he is a mix of Carnage and Green Goblin, which is a deadly combination. And of course his other base looks are pretty creepy as well. Obviously that just gives me creepy clown vibes, but then you go to the giant ultimate one, and you're giving me a Green Goblin Hulk mixed vibes. Another combination I do not want to mess with. And then his No Way Home one is pretty menacing as well, as long as with the Dark Avengers. But for sure, his most menacing look is the Red Goblin. I mean, look at that thing. That is, oh, I bet Spider-Man has nightmares seeing this guy along with these two poor agents, because he is just pure evil. Not even a broken villain, just pure evil. So then next up on the list, we have Carnage, obviously right above Green Goblin, who's a little bit of a combination. But Carnage is the total package deal. I mean, he's big, he's bulky, he's menacing looking, and maybe it's just a symbiote thing, but I do not favor the symbiotes. They definitely are scary looking. And I gotta say, it's probably the second uniform that's his scariest here, because he's just, with the horns and the skinny mid-torso part, it gives it a whole nother vibe. Yeah, I would not be messing with him at all. And this animation alone shows you how even scared the devs are of Carnage, how scary they want to make him look. I mean, you're seeing his symbiote drop to the ground and then seeing him just charge at you. How much scarier can it get? Although it can get a little scarier. Next up on the list is Malekith. Now, his base look is not all scary, but with his latest uniform, well, that's his base look, but with his latest uniform, then comes the scary factor. Well, yeah, okay, I can only look at it from here. Then comes the scary factor again. Maybe it's a symbiote thing. Maybe it's the tongue and the crown. I don't know. But it's pretty scary looking, especially when it's just moving around freely. And then the rest of the uniform is just completely covered in symbiotes. And again, maybe it's just a symbiote thing that I hate, but it definitely puts him up there in my top 3 of scariest characters in MFF. And to be honest, I think it's about time we get a Noel look that looks similar to this, because I wanted to put Noel on this list, but really it just led me to thinking about Malekith and how much more scary he looks compared to Noel. So now we round off to the top 2 here, and in the second spot is going to be Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is an absolute living menace on that bike. A prime example of a character you're just not escaping. He's going to catch you no matter what uniform look he's got. And I gotta be honest, the scariest one is probably the hat one here, just because of how I guess the fire flames out of his eyes, and obviously he is one of the many characters that jump scared you at the beginning as well. But yeah, that is just, oh my goodness, I didn't even look at that uniform before this. I was accounting for this uniform to be his scariest, but I think that one of the gold cost uniforms are definitely gonna beat him out for the latest uniform on a scary factor, because holy cow, I mean, yeah, that is pretty creepy looking. I think this one's definitely gonna be, the Inhumans Rising one is definitely gonna be his scariest uniform there. So then at number 1, I think it's no question, is Venom. You could argue with the rest of my list, but with a uniform like this, there is no way you can find a scarier looking uniform than Venom. I remember when I first downloaded this game, this was one of the first uniforms I bought, and I thought that this game was going to be extremely gory after seeing this. Thankfully it wasn't, but it was pretty creepy looking, and the rest of his uniforms are pretty much not as creepy, except for maybe this white one, but they're still pretty creepy looking. I'd say his classic and War of the Realms aren't too bad, even though the War of the Realms is still pretty scary looking, and the King in Black, of course. There's just no competition when a uniform like this exists, and followed up by a pretty scary looking uniform as well in the anti-Venom. I mean, there's no question that Venom has the scariest uniform and is the scariest character in MFF. Then again, it might be a symbiote thing for me, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. It was just something for fun, so don't hate me in the comments for anything. There may be some characters that I could have moved up. There were definitely some characters that I wanted to include, but I didn't end up including them. If I can think of any at the top of my head, it's probably Bullseye, Red Skull, Juggernaut, of course, is up there as well. Hela. There's a ton of other characters that definitely have a scary factor to them, but in my opinion, these were the top 15, and these are the 15 that I really want to show you. So, yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great Halloween, whether you celebrate it or not. Have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.